Hi, welcome to Made to Heal with Angela Brown. So, I'm going to talk about what we can do to honor those that have done the most for us in this life. So, I want you to think for a minute of somebody in particular. It may be a small group of people, it may be one person, or a couple. So, I will get into my story and why I pick who I pick, but think of somebody that has done the most for you. And then I will get into what it is we can do to honor them. Okay. So, and I don't know how many, whatever comes off the top of my head, we'll get into that. So, I'm going to let you know and I think most people will be able to say the same thing, and maybe not, but my the most influential people in my life have been my parents. So, were they perfect? No, they weren't perfect. I'm not a perfect parent either. But if you think back on your life, probably your parents are the two greatest examples that have done the very most for you in propelling you forward in life, making you want to be a better person. And I'm going to give a backstory because I think my parents, they did so much for me and my twin sister that we wouldn't be here. I would not be here in front of this camera today had they not did what they did. So my twin sister and I were diagnosed with this disease at 18 months old called cystic fibrosis. We were not given a long time to live. In fact, we had a very short lifespan. When they went and took us in, and when we were diagnosed at 18 months, they said, go home and enjoy them because they probably won't make it to 2. And they said if by small chance they make it by past the age of 2, they most likely won't make it past the age of 5. Now, there have been cystic fibrosis people that have made it into their teens, and I think the longest lived at that time was probably early 20s, mid 20s. And so they said they won't live very long lives and they will be in the hospital for over half their lives. And my parents just were overwhelmed with information. They didn't have medical insurance at the time. And they were like, we've got to figure something out. There's got to be another way. So they met people along the way in the near future, thank goodness, because we didn't have a lot of time. And they ran into a holistic healer, a lady that was into herbs and herbal remedies and healing the body in a natural, holistic way. And they talked with her, and she said, I can help you help your girls, but you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. You will have to be willing to do everything I tell you to do. And the process and the steps that she gave to my parents, I know in my heart of hearts, most parents would hear it and they would run. They would be like, oh, hold up. No, 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 no. Way too hard. Way, way, way too hard. I'm not willing to give all that stuff up. So I know for a fact that we are born to the parents that we are born to because God entrusted us with them. And I give gratitude to God to this day for being born to my parents because my parents were willing to go above and beyond. And we're talking late 70s and all through the 80s and 90s. They were willing to completely change their lifestyle and the whole lifestyle of the family because they're like, well, if this stuff is going to hurt them and take play in killing them, if these foods are going to harm my daughters, then why would we want to do that for ourselves? And so in honor of us, they chose to switch the whole family on a special diet. This lady said, their bodies are so full of toxins right now. We need to clear the toxins and clean the toxins out of their body. And so she gave recipes for mineral baths and detox things, how to detox. Also, she told my parents, take red meat, sugar, food coloring and dyes, dairy, and white flour out of their diet, and white rice. Completely take that out of their diet, and you can watch their health slowly improve. Well, it took years, several years of this strict regimen. And she also gave them a lot of other things that they had to do. And it was a lot of work. My twin sister and I, we wouldn't hold on the weight. We couldn't hold on the weight, and we threw up all the time, and we had diarrhea all the time. And so all the doctor medical notes when we were babies just kept saying failure to thrive, failure to thrive. Well, that means they're not doing so good. Something's going on. We don't know what's going on in their bodies, but they're not thriving. So they had to work really hard to get our bodies to thrive, to rebuild our gut health, because our gut health was destroyed. The doctors had the doctors had told our parents to put us on antibiotics. And antibiotics are great for for short time periods, right? To get to the root of the problem sometimes. But here's the deal with antibiotics. It's just putting a band-aid over the problem. It is not getting to the root cause of what the problem is. And so it's, I don't know if you've known people that are on antibiotics after antibiotics after antibiotics, and the issue just keeps seeming to come back. And so what do? More antibiotics. Okay, let's get a stronger one. Let's get more antibiotics in them. And what the antibiotics do is it destroys the gut health. It destroys anything good, the good bacteria and all the good stuff in the digestive tract. And so this wonderful woman, told my parents what to do to help strengthen our digestive tract and how to help us process things better. And so they did everything to a T. And it wasn't just weeks and years. And that's what parents do, right? The love. Until you have kids of your own, and maybe you have kids of your own, give me a comment in the comments. Are you a parent, and are you willing to do whatever it takes to help your kids? That's where you get to the bottom of things, and help them heal, right? So if you're knowing, gosh, my kid is really sick, I don't know, this route isn't feeling good. It's just nothing's changing, and what can we do? Well, research is so huge. There's more than one path to help the health of our children and ourselves. And so I am so grateful for my parents that went above and beyond, and they did everything in their power. They learned everything they could about the health of a body, how to take care of a body. Yeah, our father read hundreds of health books. And so, and our mom too. And they took a lot of time. They took a lot of time into helping us strengthen our bodies. And I'm almost 47, and it's a miracle that I'm here, and I pay tribute completely to my parents. So how can we honor those that have done the most for us in our lives? And it's probably most likely your parents. Even if your parents weren't the best of examples in areas, I am so grateful for what I've learned. And if you have kids, and if you think along the lines like I do, I want my kids to be better than what I was at raising them. I didn't raise a perfect family, and you just want your kids to be even better than what you were. And so that's what living in good and bad situations can do. It can propel you into wanting more, wanting better. And that's always a good thing, to improve and to always become that best version of you. So how can we honor those that have done so much for us in our lives? Well, number one, gratitude. Let them know how grateful you are for them. And I know, it's called pay it forward, right? We had all these years of, most people stay in their parents' home for 18 years ish. And the amount, and maybe you didn't have parents, maybe you were in foster care, or maybe you were adopted or whatever, but you had, hopefully most people have had parents for role models, and good or bad, it's okay. But think of all the things that it's so easy to focus on the bad things all the time, but think of all the great things that they did and sacrificed in behalf of your well-being. And so just what we can do is give gratitude and make sure they know it. Make sure that they know it and your children know that you're grateful, like showing that generational gratitude, because we are losing gratitude in society. We have such an entitled world, and um, some kids in this generation have kind of lost the it's important to show gratitude. And so we can show gratitude and we can pass that gratitude on and let our kids know how grateful we are for our parents. And even our grandkids, as they come, we can let them know how grateful we were for our parents, like pass on that respect of generational respect. And also, we can pay it forward by living the best that we can do in honor of them. What is it you can do to improve yourself spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically in honor of your parents that did so much for you? Parents are amazing, and they just it's not an easy job. It's not a job for the faint-hearted. It is something that is um, once you become a parent, your children never leave your mind. They're just constantly at the forefront of your mind, how you can make things better for them. And so it's just how can we pay it forward? What can we do? Also, I had another thought and it kind of left. So I'm just going to end it with pay it forward, become the best version of yourself, reach out and give gratitude, and recognize that's another thing. Be aware of where you are today, and have that reflection time and awareness, and take the good and the bad, and how you can improve the bad and improve upon the good. We can always be better than what we are today, and our parents, I know, want us to be better than what they were, because that's what I want for my kids, and I'm sure my kids will want the same for their kids. Like each generation just wants to get stronger and better. And so that's that's the best way that we can honor our greatest examples, the ones that have done the most for us, the love that parents have for us. If you're a parent, comment if you feel like your kids understand and recognize the love you have for them. They probably don't, especially if they're still in your home. They won't understand that until they're in their adult years. I didn't understand the love that my parents had for me. Here, all this time as I was growing up, I couldn't have that. I couldn't have that. We had to be on such a strict diet. And I thought I didn't look at it as love. I didn't look at it as commitment. I didn't look at it as sacrifice. And so those that have done those, so think of it. I want to hear in the comments too, who who in your life has been done the kindest act of service you can think of. And I just know that they'll be blessed for the acts of service that they've done, but so will you by in turn turning it over to for others to enjoy. So we have our people that we look up to, but people look up to us. And maybe you don't have kids yet, and you don't have to have kids to pass on whatever. So think of that person that has done so much for you and how you can honor that person. And also, if they're still living today, show it. If they're not, say it's grandparents. Maybe you had the most amazing grandparents. Write them a letter, even if they have moved on. Write a letter. Get it from your head and your heart onto paper, and it's so healing just to let them know. And you know what? They'll know. They already know your thoughts towards them. And I am a strong believer of life after death, and so those that have moved on are just as involved as we are with our thoughts towards them. They have our best interest in mind, and just as we have their best interest in mind. So yeah, it's a healing process and things that we can do, but that keeping that connection and having that gratitude. I can't say it enough. Gratitude is probably the top thing that would help boost our energy, and it helps them as well. So God bless. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, share it with others. And also the link for my 12-week course will be in there. And if you have any questions, please reach out and ask. So God bless. Talk to you later. Bye.